Welcome to Technology and Education Today. I'm Richard Smith.
And I'm Caroline Crawford, and today we're talking about what, Richard?
We're talking about the need for schools and colleges of education and teacher education programs in general to prepare students who want to be teachers to be able to teach online and in blended learning environments, in addition to being a
Strong
classroom
face-to-face instructors.
Right, in addition to being a face-to-face classroom instructor. And
Makes sense.
Yes.
One would imagine that would have already occurred.
You would think
you
it
would
already.
well imagine that,
You would
but
think
not necessarily.
but this online instruction is a relatively new phenomenon. It's just taken off in the past couple of
15 years.
Well, as far as public schools are concerned, the past 4 or 5 years, and teachers are not being prepared to teach online. Now, not every teacher needs to teach online.
There are a lot of organizations, teacher education programs, that are doing a bang-up job, or at least trying to do a bang-up job when it comes to integrating the online instruction or the blended learning instruction.
Well, there may be, but
it may be an add-on or it may be integrated into
but as far as the College of Education is concerned, there are very few of them that are preparing teachers systematically to teach online. So yes, there are other organizations, certainly, that is true, but it becomes an add-on.
Well, I would agree with you. The overlay idea where, yes, you have your face-to-face teacher education, and then you have to go over here to do your online teacher education components, doesn't make sense to me, because the modeling is necessary and appropriate within the methods courses, within the subject matter areas of expertise courses. It shouldn't be a standalone. It needs to be modeled over and over and over again, and offer the opportunity for the teacher candidates to do this.
It needs to be modeled, but at the same time, it needs to be taught systematically in a specific course. And ordinary methods teachers can't do this for a very simple reason. They haven't taught online themselves, and they haven't designed any online courses. I'm speaking in general.
I was going to say, I don't know if I can say that about everyone, but in general, that might be a fair statement.
Based on my experience, that most of the methods teachers in colleges and schools of education in the United States simply haven't created an online course, and they haven't taught an online course. But in any event, certain things need to be taught to teachers who are or students who want to become
teacher candidates.
Teachers. Oh yeah, it's teacher candidates. It's a great one. Teacher candidates.
Good word. 2 words. Nice label.
So there are a couple of variations in here, but basically, an online teacher can teach a course that he or she has designed himself or herself, or that teacher can teach a course that somebody else has designed. Now,
facilitate.
Yes, and so in the first case, that's to teach a course that you have designed yourself. That is a challenge, and the challenge part is in designing the course. So coursework needs to be provided to teacher candidates on how to design a simple online course. As they become more experienced, once they get out into a school, they can do sophisticated things with the online instruction.
But not only talking about it, I've heard of so many different course opportunities where it's all theory and talked about, and you really should do this and you really should do that, but it's not rubber meets the road type thing where you're actually designing and developing and implementing.
Right. So this needs to be systematically taught, and you're right. You're exactly right.
Say it again.
You can't teach the theory of designing an online course without coupling that with actual hands-on experience with designing an online course, and then teaching that online course that you design to your fellow teacher candidates. So you have some
totally different world.
Baseline experience. And you're right, I've seen a lot of courses or workshops for teachers.
Yes, workshops where all they do is talk about it.
That's right.
Nice, interesting, but it doesn't help me when I need to get out there and do it.
Yes, they'll say things, well, you should have discussions, and you should have a well-designed discussion, and you should always make certain that you provide your email address to the students and things like that. But the students who are taking these workshops have no idea on how to put together a course from step 1 to the final step.
Well, the theory is useful when you're thinking through the process, but until you actually implement it, design and implement it, it all goes over my head. Yeah, yeah, interesting. Yeah, it makes sense. Whatever. Until I actually have to do it.
Right. So let's say you now know how to design a course and you implement that course. On the other hand, you may be handed a course that somebody else has designed, and you will have to facilitate that. So you have to be taught what to do when that happens. So things such as review the course before you begin to teach it is step one. Step two, make certain that you ask or insist upon to the person who asked you to teach that course that there is support for that course. So that if there are problems that crop up where links break and so on and so forth, if some things don't make sense, that you can go to the designers of that course and have them fix it for you, because going in and fixing somebody else's course first can be a problem. You may break some other links while you're doing it. Second of all, the fixes may not be all that obvious. So you need to demand that
And
support.
it may be 2 or 3 different areas that have to be addressed within the course environment, whatever learning course management system you're using. And that drives me crazy because I always think whenever I have the opportunity to instruct someone else's course, I hate quizzes. I'll be the first to admit it. But I always have problems with the quizzes. Something isn't set up right. So even though I think I fixed it one place, when I go and talk to the person who designed the course, I find out, oh no, you needed to actually go in
Yeah.
over here and fix it. Oh well, that's why I've been having a problem with it.
Okay, so that leads me to something else that needs to be included in
But
in
the
a
support and the
course,
modeling of how
in a
to
course
run it
in
is
a course
important.
in a course for teacher candidates, and it's very simple, and that is that teaching an online course, especially to a group of high school students, that can be as many as 20 to 30 students, takes considerably more time
Considerably
than it
more
takes
time
a
and effort.
face-to-face course. So
And
if you-
unless you've taught an online course or facilitated an online course, you would not know that. If you're doing a good job.
So if you are assigned,
If you're doing a decent
if you
job.
have a normal load, let's say of 5 courses, and your principal says, I've got a great idea, I'm going to assign you to teach an online course because the state requires it, or I feel like it, or the parents are demanding, whatever it is, so you'll teach 4 face-to-face courses and 1 online course, your reaction should be, something is wrong here, because it's going to take me 4 times as long to teach that online course.
It truly does, and it becomes a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week job instead of, oh, well, like you and I, normally we walk in and we have a 3-hour course over a 1-day period. And
Because we teach in college.
yeah, and then we can walk out again if it's a face-to-face course. Once it becomes an online course, it is a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week
That's
gig.
and part of
And
that
that's rough
and
when you
part of
consider
that-
all the other stuff that you're expected
and
to do.
part of that
Imagine that
is-
as an instructor,
is
as a
because
K-12 teacher.
when you're in a face-to-face course, if a student has a question, the student asks that question right during the course. In an online course, during the
Or
course
you
time,
have office hours that
Yes.
someone can show up for, which is
Right.
great. I
Or
like when the students show up for
between
office hours.
classes, after school, but in an online course, a student is not taking that course in the same 3-hour or whatever it is, 45-minute slot as all the other students.
Anytime,
so when
anywhere.
so when they get a question, when those students get questions, they'll send you an email, and it could be at 10 o'clock at night, it can be 8 o'clock in the morning, whenever they're working on the course, and
The expectation is an immediate response, much
Right.
like you have when you're face-to-face.
yes, but of course that expectation cannot normally be met, because the person teaching that online course
I sleep.
has a lot of other things to do. So these are the types of things that need to be taught. In addition to the concepts, you need to be taught, or teacher candidates need to be taught how to put together a course, and that means basic familiarity with a course management system such as Blackboard or Angel or Moodle or any of these things, so that once you can work with one online course management system, you can work with them
And it's
all.
different being a student in a course versus being the teacher or facilitator of record
Yes.
within a learning
Yes,
environment.
simply
Simply
taking an online course and then saying I'm experienced in online education
just isn't true.
is not going to hack it if you are asked to teach a course. And I think we're going to have to stop right there because we've run out of time. For Technology and Education Today, I'm Richard Smith.
And I'm Caroline Crawford. Bye!